A very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and myself, Sunil Osman. We do this live on TikTok every second Monday between 3:30 p.m. and 5 p.m. Today's topic is being yourself. Eugene Wood, what do you have to say about being yourself?
Well, this thing, if you go and Google it, being yourself, what is it? What does the definition bring up? And it basically says living your life your way and not worrying about other people's opinions, which sums it up really nicely because at the end of the day, when you are happy in yourself and you are being your authentic self to you and to the people around you, you're going to experience the most joy in your life because you are truly being yourself at that point of time. So our discussion is going to be a very interesting one. I don't want to delve too deep into before we get into the actual conversation. So back to Sunil.
Yes. So Eugene and I will be speaking about being yourself with regards to love, life, and business. Obviously, there is going to be some discussion around how society affects who you are and how you get out of that to continue to be yourself. And we'll continue with that straight after this. Right. Welcome back to Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and myself, Sunil Osman. We are speaking about being yourself in this modern day. This video will go onto IG video and also onto YouTube. So if you missed any of our topics from Monday Motivation during 2021, you can catch up there. But let's hope that this one does get recorded and we can share it for you. So being yourself in today's society is something people throw around. They say it's very easy, but it's not. Let me tell you why it's not. Because there's so much social conditioning that people live through that you can't always just be yourself. And those of us who live through a place of truth and try and be ourselves often hit against walls. We have expectations from the ones we love. We have expectations from business partners or business deals. We have expectations in our life to live according to what society says is what you should be and being yourself. I myself have been through a very personal journey, finding my own morals and ethics. And people go, oh, but that's not normal. What is normal? What is normal when you're trying yourself? And when you are living yourself, what happens? You have what we call energy vampires that come in because they get very jealous of your high vibrational attitude and life, and they can't understand it because they may not be being themselves. Being yourself requires not being fake. It requires being authentic and honest about who you are. It also has a lot to do with understanding what shadow work is, understanding that there is a balance between good and evil, and that you have got both inside of you as well.
Yeah, like there's that saying, like there's always those two wolves inside you, you know, which one is actually going to end up winning, you know what I mean? So there is that balance that you have to have inside you. But there's something you touched on, and like obviously being yourself. Like I know Sunil and I both have the same sort of journey where at one stage, if we had carried on the path that we were on, we were going to earn a lot of money. I was already earning a lot of money a few years ago, 5, 6 years ago, lots. Like I didn't know what to do with it most of the time. And like, but I landed up downscaling to a point where I was happy again because I felt like I was just giving all my time and energy to other people instead of actually, I'd moved home a few years earlier to focus on me, and I was giving all that attention to other people, and it didn't feel right. Like, yes, the money was, everyone wants this, fair enough. Like, but it was a point where I had to choose something for me that made me happier in the long run. And yes, I've gone full circle and we're doing marketing
Eugene
again.
Just paused.
I'm still, yeah.
You're gonna have to edit that now, but you spoke about happiness, and there's a very big difference between happiness and false happiness. And I was speaking to somebody about this the other day, about how you need to be happy first before you can expect somebody else to be happy too. Sharing happiness is a lot better than relying on somebody else for your happiness. And that comes in love, in life and in business too. How do you be yourself and be happy though? By acknowledging what you said, like us, we went through this journey, went through this phase, acknowledging that your needs are satisfied will make you so much happier. The gratitude will be so much greater.
There's something you said there now, and you are responsible for your own happiness. Yes, people can come in and out of your life and provide happy moments in your journey, along your path. But you ultimately are responsible for your own happiness. So now, like we were speaking about mindset the other week. So this is the thing, like you could choose to have a happy mindset of it's a good year and I know that things are going to work out, or you can have like and not provide your own happiness for yourself to keep yourself encouraged. Because you know what they say about motivation? I mean, entrepreneurs and stuff. To being an entrepreneur, you have to be very self-motivated. And to be self-motivated, you often have to be very happy with who you are. Because if you're not happy with who you are, you're not going to be motivated to do amazing things for yourself. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the things you have spoken about is that you are responsible for your own happiness. And yes, like Eugene mentioned, it's great to have a lot of money, all the cars and the houses and stuff. But if you are not happy from a place of truth, you're never going to be truly happy. How many people do you know that are extremely wealthy, but they really are not happy? Money doesn't solve everything, and that's what I mean. You have the power of choice. You have the power of free will to choose what you're going to allow into your life. And it's not coming right back to our topic. If it's not serving the greater good for you for being yourself, then what are you doing? If you are trying to have a relationship based on what everybody else thinks a relationship should be, you're never truly going to be happy in the relationship. You have to find what your happiness is in a relationship. Have you got somebody that is satisfying what you require in that relationship? In your life, are you satisfying and making yourself happy? When you sign a contract with a business, are you working for a company that you go, I can agree with these morals and ethics, or are you doing it just for the money? Is it taking you away from yourself? And yes, there are situations where you are not going to be able to be completely yourself. But if you are aware of that, it changes the perspective completely.
Sometimes you have to do what you need to do to be able to get to a place where you can be happy again. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone's situation is like, I'm going to be happy now. It doesn't work like that. Some people have come from bad relationships that they're still dealing with hurt and all of that. But this is the thing, like the topic was originally going to be, is it lonely? Being yourself, can it be lonely? And in a way, for some people, it can be, okay, because the people around them don't understand who they potentially are, okay? But if that is the case, then find other people that do understand. But anyway, and then the other side of that is that you are happy. You are happy because you're happy in yourself. So can it be lonely? Why would it be lonely? You're happy within yourself. You can be by yourself. You can be within a group of people. You are doing what you love because you are happy with who you are and what you are doing along your journey. And it's not easy to find that mindset that to be able to get to that place like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And there is a very big difference between being alone and being lonely. And from a spiritual point of view, when you reach that point, when you realize that within yourself and around you, you're never truly alone, it is a massive leap on how to be yourself. If you can be in your own space, on your own, not requiring people around you at all times, it is a massive leap with confidence, with self-love. Being yourself has got a lot to do with self-love. Not everybody's going to accept you the way you are, but does it really matter if they do? You need to learn to love yourself and accept yourself in order to be yourself, so that you don't have to explain yourself to anybody else.
Being yourself isn't easy. Like Sunil said earlier, society, judgmental people wanting to always like kind of get it better of someone because they don't want to see someone else succeed, and that all those little things chip away at your happiness. But this is where you need to, like we talk about often, like almost every time we have one of these discussions, what is your why? Why do you do this? Like, find that point, because if you're doing it for your child, if you're doing it for a loved one, if you're doing it for family, if you're doing it for yourself to prove to yourself that you can, or if you're doing it to prove to others that you can, if you, whatever your reason is, whatever this reason is, focus on this, because the more you focus on this, the more you're going to start working on this, and you're going to start making plans happen. And as you make plans happen, you're going to start achieving small things, which then brings that level of happiness. And you're like, this is a possibility. I could potentially do this because I'm starting to believe in myself. I'm starting to work on myself. I'm starting to find that happiness within myself. So, it's going to be an interesting year this year.
So in the stitch for the video that I did for this Monday Motivation, I said something which I firmly believe in, and you've heard me say it 1,000 times, and it's something I should probably make a sound, but it is very hard to be real in an artificial world. And being yourself and speaking and living from a place of truth is not easy because of social conditioning. But the awareness around that is what can actually stimulate and encourage you to be yourself. And you will find that when somebody doesn't accept you for who you are, you either tolerate them or you will walk away.
I am going to say something very interesting now. And this is one of those future predictions, guys. Okay. You've all heard Facebook are doing the metaverse. Yeah. Every big company is now going into the metaverse. All clothing shops, Samsung, they're even doing the tennis and everything, which is a digital world that you use VR glasses and you can walk around, you can go on your computer. The full-on works is happening. My only advice is try and work on yourself now, because if you are truly happy with yourself and everything like that, when all this other technology comes, you're going to be happy with yourself. So all this is this fake living that everyone is now going to be buying like $2,000 virtual clothing just to look cool in a different universe, because they are not happy with themselves.
Yes.
They are not. So just, if you just go Google metaverse and stuff, because honestly, the people that they're buying massive real estate, they're buying clothing, like shoes that are worth like $600 are worth like $2,000-3,000 in the metaverse, just because it's a digital format. So people are like, find yourself, find happiness in yourself, because when this digital world comes, and anyway, enough conspiracy theory. Sorry.
But what you've spoken about and vented there is actually quite true. Because what it's trying to do is it's trying to push people away from being who they are and being completely authentic. But you can still find your authenticity through that, because you can still find your identity. You go, that clothing is not going to be for me. Those shoes are not going to be for me. And it still comes down to being yourself. When you are in a relationship, it's the same thing. There's all this pretense that happens sometimes at the very beginning or in the end or in the middle. And that's not what we want. We want and we need that truth, that genuine love, that genuine, honest, deep truth in order to remain being yourself and loving yourself. Even again, like we speak about business as well in these Monday motivations. When you are signing that contract, I said this earlier, when you sign that contract or you agree to work somewhere and it's something that you don't really fit into, or it's, I don't know, let's use a stupid example. You join a gang and you're not a gang member. You've never been part of a gang before. You're not being yourself. But what it can do is it can teach you who you are on your journey. You can go, oh, hang on, I don't like this. This is not who I am. This is not me being myself. How many of us have done so many things in our lives that we say we don't regret, but we've learned lessons. Part of those lessons are learning to become more aware and being yourself.
I don't regret anything, but I have learned a lot of lessons. But yes, being yourself this year, like we've already, like, the atmosphere feels different this year. People are more positive. People are more excited about this year than they have been for the last 2 years. Even like last year was a hard year for a lot of people, but this year it's just different. People, like, when I speak to people, it is more positive. It is more uplifting. It is more, oh, I'm doing this year, or I'm planning on doing. I'm like, okay, like, there's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
people seem to, I don't know, there seems to be this like community feel where everyone's like motivating. This is what I feel. And then obviously you open up TikTok and then it's just drama and you're like, I'm going to put this back down because I'm focusing on this. But yes.
So before
anyway.
before we take another break, before we come back with a conclusion, you spoke about the how you put the phone down. There are a lot more people these days who are putting their phones down because they realize it takes them away from being who they really are. And whether it be on social media, whether it be whatever, instant messaging or something, people are becoming more aware. And it's those people that are slowly making their way to more towards being themselves. And like we always say, everybody's on their own journey. Where you are on your journey is your story. But the mere fact that you're becoming aware and awakened to this and putting the phone down sometimes or more often is. Eugene Wood and I will be back with a conclusion for today's Monday Motivation straight after this. Welcome back, everybody, to Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and myself, Sunil Osman. You've come to the conclusion of today's topic, which is being yourself. Eugene, what do you have to say in conclusion?
All I'm going to say is that if you can do anything this year, try and be a better version of yourself every day. Try and be yourself and just live life to the absolute fullest that you can this year and grow as much as you can as a person. So being yourself, when you find that moment, that's where you start growing as a person. Sunil.
And in conclusion for today's Monday Motivation topic, which is being yourself, I have the following to say. If you like who you are, that is all that really matters. And remember, you report to nobody but yourself. You report to nobody but yourself. If you do something that's not you, you report to yourself. You have to live with the energy you invite into your life, in your life, love, and business. That is being yourself, our Monday Motivation topic for today. Our next Monday Motivation will be happening on the 6th. Eugene Wood will be doing a video with 2 topics, and then you'll be able to vote on the topic you want to hear us speak about. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Love and light to everyone.
Have a good day, guys.